Recently, GreenLeaders DC took a trip to Poolesville, Maryland to visit with Calleva, a summer camp and outdoor education group. We wanted to meet with Calleva's crew and find out more about how they approach agricultural education. Matt Markoff is Calleva's executive director.
Me and my brothers, started Calleva being, outdoorsmen and passionate about the outdoor environment. We're always trying to think about sustainability. And that's when we started going, you know what? Let's think about farming. And so farming was kind of the next evolution of Calleva, of going into the education of outdoor adventures and then trying to add a focus of agricultural environmental education. And that was like the birth of our farm. We didn't grow up as farmers. And farming's been probably the biggest stretch for all of us. By hands down, it's definitely the biggest stretch. We have everybody from like Tom Doy, who was a camper that kind of grew up here and like kind of stepped up, became an instructor, became a director. You have Natalia is an intern that knew nothing about us, but knew what she wanted to get involved with and somehow found us. Shares a dual internship with Bethesda Green and with us. She just wants to learn as much as possible. Ben Ritter, who's in charge of our farm, who is not a farmer at all. He was a rock and roll musician in New York City and supported his kid that way, and pretty impressive. Wanted to change in his lifestyle and wanted to do something different, and kind of came up at the farm and said, this is what I want to do. Is there an environment here where I can try it? And Dave Ritter, he kind of in the same way. He's actually Ben Ritter's brother, and he was interested in the outdoors, and he's passionate about it. And then Shane, she's the newest of our collection, our misfit characters here. It just seemed like she was just the right fit. We definitely, after meeting her, like, this is who we want. And Finney, he's in charge of all the hay fields, and he grew up farming, and he works for us full time, and he kind of manages all the other farming. There's Ben, and he's like this new age. He's just like looking at all these alternative ways of farming, organic. He doesn't want any pesticides, anything like that. Those two fight nonstop, and it's awesome because I love that there's all this people that have these different backgrounds and that everybody has an opinion and how it seems to work out. We have fun at least doing it, So, that's our thing, is let's enjoy ourselves. And, we're a team. Our job is team building. It's the same for all of our staff.
My name's Ben Ritter. I'm from Potomac, Maryland. These are used telephone poles, and then a lot of this lumber is from there was a business up in West Virginia that was taking old barns and recycling the lumber, and they went out of business. So this guy right here, Finney, and a few others took a bunch of trailers up, and we just filled up our barn with all this great old oak beams and flooring, and it's all just old barn pieces. But that's what all this trellis is from that. All the raised beds are from that. This is our herb garden. Like I said, we do a lot of cooking here, so this is where we do most of the herbs, and I've been trying to make it more and more perennial as opposed to annual herbs as we go. So right now we've got sage, rosemary, thyme, lavender, echinacea right here. I'll bring kids down here at the beginning of a program just to kind of put them in the mindset, and we go through and just make them guess what things are and smell them and taste them, see if they can figure it out. This is our greenhouse. Like most things at this farm, it's built with recycled, reused, or stuff that we made ourselves. So we can grow anything in here all winter that you could grow in cool weather outside in the fall or spring. And we'll just keep this going kind of in a succession throughout the winter. I planted 2 beds with 2 rows of cucumbers. It was a jungle in here. Just of what I weighed, we had like 2,000 pounds of cucumbers. You guys want to see the animals, right? Okay, we can just walk in that direction. So this was the first group of piglets that was born here this winter. They were born on, I think it was Halloween, the day of Halloween. These guys will get up to 150, 200 pounds by next fall, winter. So I want to show you the goats and the chickens over here because it's a pretty cool system that we have going with them. So yeah, these wagons were built here. Our master carpenter really put these together. I actually fought the rainwater collection idea at first, but then Matt was like, no, we got to do rainwater collection. And I'm so glad he did, because we started these off in like June and went and got fresh new chickens. So they weren't even laying yet when I picked them up. We got 100 all at the same time. And I didn't have to give them one drop of water until like November. You know, every farm is unique, especially this kind of small, diverse farm. You could see like the water tower where we wash the vegetables, and we've got the chicken right here, and we've got the fruit trees and the berries and the herbs over there in the raised beds and the greenhouse, and this is all kind of mixed up together, more like a giant home garden than a commercial garden. We do the opposite of what a for-profit farm would do, because as a business model, the most efficient thing is to grow one thing and streamline that and perfect your methods and all that. Whereas for us, at being an educational farm, the thing to make us more educational is to do everything. And so the kids can see everything working together. So we're kind of like a self-contained food system where we grow everything and we cook everything here, and the kids can see everything from putting a seed in the ground to picking it and cooking it and eating it. Just the layout of the garden itself kind of demonstrates that.
We are not just teaching environment here. We have to teach agriculture. We have to kind of marry those two disciplines. That's the hard thing. I think some like environmentalists will be against farmers, and farmers will be like, hey, listen, you know, I need to pay the bills and I need to grow food. And, you know, the goal here is obviously understanding that relationship between the two.